Welcome back, Officers of the Republic. It's your Coruscant Underworld Police Chief APGAINS here, and sorry for the appearance and for not posting in the last couple of days. After the Slave Leia live stream, my voice was gone. I was feeling super sick, but I'm back now, and we're going to talk about 11 months, almost a year, 11 months of free-to-play progress for the Nikki Biggs account, the account that my girlfriend should be playing a little bit more frequently. So it's been kind of slow grinding. Hasn't progressed as fast as possible because she does miss a couple days. She doesn't play on weekends, and we don't do much other than doing dailies on stream. So 1.39 million GP. Let's actually wait. I guess the ships and the characters are in the same spot now. Good APGAINS. We'll start with ships because we always go characters. We never talk much about ships. So she hasn't put a huge priority in ships. She's had Negotiator for a while. Halfway to 7-star Negotiator. She's got the Houndstooth, ETA. Ahsoka Tano. Not quite progressed towards MILF yet, but I mean, she has her 7-star Geonosian ships and almost a 7-star rest of her Galactic Republic fleet. She never really struggles with fleets. Usually she dominates her opponents offensively and defensively in fleets for where she is in Grand Arena. Is this the best possible fleets she could have had? No, but it's not a huge priority since it doesn't need to be largely. Okay, so let's just filter by power and see what we got. So we've had, obviously, first Relic Zeta should be Merciless Massacre Darth Vader. We've had that for, honestly, since we hit level 85. We have both of the Relic Revens, which means now, the other day, I finally got around to actually doing the event to unlock Malik. Malik doesn't have either of his Zetas. He was just unlocked, like, honestly, a couple days ago. So we have Malik, which means both of our Revan teams are solid. Our Padme team is solid. Padme needs to come up. I think the Padme team needs to be at least gear 12. I've kind of been slacking on that, and she hasn't been farming gear as much. But our CLS squad has 3 gear 13 Relic Zeros. We're not bringing a lot of characters above Relic Zero because we don't want to mess with our matchup GP too much. We don't want to be those dummy dum-dums who put too many points into relics. Quick side note while we do this. Consider subscribing. Here's the puppy. Consider subscribing. When we get 15,000 subscribers, we will be going to Capital Games headquarters, pulling in Oceans 69, which means we will steal Capital Games' one laptop and take control of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and with that power, we'll give you 1 cup shard for free. I will actually do this, by the way. I live really close to their headquarters, so consider subscribing. Let's keep going about it. Her Bounty Hunter team is solid. Let's just filter by teams now so you can get a general overview. Bounty Hunters is solid. Bosk, Django, both 12. Aura Singh. Considering using her as a leadership for potential Darth Revan counters, depending on Darth Revan lineups in the future. Boba Fett slacking, Dengar slacking. The rest are kind of slacking. So, not huge emphasis on Bounty Hunters, but they do get good defensive holds as well as fantastic banners on offense for her team. So they're doing some good stuff there. As far as Clone Troopers, she stayed away from Clone Troopers. I mean, she has the shards to unlock, and 7-star most of them. Hasn't touched Bad Batch, of course. These are not characters that I particularly think are good investments until gas has been progressed towards. But the funny thing is, we just finished our Malik, which means now we'll be progressing towards gas. So probably after we get gas, we'll start moving up our Clone Troopers. But it's not a huge priority because the way the account's set up with all the teams that we use using the APGAINS approved farming guide. I mean, we're absolutely pooping on everyone, so we don't really need to have that extra team up and running. Plus, there's some more fun stuff and more practical stuff that she's going to want up and running. As far as her Empire goes, it's literally just Darth Vader. We don't do much with the Empire faction. I stay away from the Imp Troopers. They are a great team. They're offensive. The problem is they're one of those teams where they find themselves in that spot where there's always going to be that more important grind. So you never really find yourself, even on my main account, which is 4 million GP at this point, you never really find a time to go for Imp Troopers. You can delay better farms and push them and just have them. And that's what a lot of players end up doing, is end up going Imp Troopers. And I'm not going to dissuade you from doing that if that's something that you guys want to do. I'm totally fine with that. It's just we want to make this account as efficient as possible, so we're not going to be participating in that. Ewoks. We will start progressing towards C-3PO hopefully soon. We have our 7-star Ewoks. Unfortunately, a bunch of idiots, for lack of a better term, voted Special Forces TIE Pilot, or Special Forces TIE Pilot, as the Galactic Chase as opposed to Wicket. So this will slow down the C-3PO farm, unfortunately. I'm sorry for anyone inconvenienced because of these nincompoops, but it's fine. As far as first over, we've obviously left it alone. We don't need to do much. Galactic Republic is the best faction in the game, and probably where we're going to need to put a little bit of work. We have our level 69 Cup, of course, mandatory. Our General Kenobi and Anakin are both relics, not only for use in the Padme team, but mostly for use in ships. Yoda I could probably bring up for some more damage. Ahsoka for her ship, maybe. Padme I probably want to bring up to at least 12 just for survivability, but plus since we're going to be pushing gas, Ahsoka, Shakti, Padme are going to need to come up, as well as C-3PO once we unlock him. So I'm going to need to get on that. Geonosians, she wasn't active during the Geonosian chase because I was too lazy and she was out of town. So our Brood is still only 4 stars, but even on my main account until the Galactic Chase happened, I'm fine with leaving Brood at 4 stars. A Zeta would probably be nice, but for 1.4 million GP, I mean, anything over than that is just a waste of resources on our part because they're going to have to use the same counters regardless. So in that situation, we've depleted our resources while they maintain the same level of counter. So it's just impractical to put too much more on them at this point. So that's why since we're playing the efficiency game on this account to be the best we can possibly be for the minimum possible resources, since we don't spend any money, we're going to be keeping these guys where they are. Let me just quickly make sure we're at the 6-minute mark. I was just checking to see if we actually have the recording going. As far as Jedi go, most of the Jedi are also Galactic Republic Jedi, but we do have Revan and Basilishan, obviously, since we have Malik. So this is just a quick check-in there. You guys have already seen this. Mandalorians, Night Sister, Old Republic. We don't really got much of that. Phoenix, obviously, we've been intelligent and stayed away from the Phoenix. Rebels, of course, you guys saw our 3 CLS. We also have a 7-star Chupio. Once C-3PO is unlocked, I'm ideally going to want to Gear 13 Chupio, but then I have to talk about the gas counter and do I get more value from the Gear 13 Relic 0 on Chupio as opposed to delaying one relic, because a relic takes a week or so per character. So will delaying that relic on gas be a net benefit or net negative depending on having the actual Gear 13 here? If we do that, C-3PO will get guard. Will he be fast enough to be utilizing guard properly? We don't know. This is something I still haven't considered since I am just finishing the Malik, and we will be relicking Malik before we go into any of our later farms. So it's something I'm still deciding on, just letting you guys know about my thought process in the future. Separatists, obviously we have Wat Tambor Zated, but other than that, our Separatists aren't super good. We have a 7-star Grievous. Once I start progressing the droids up for gas, I will again progress Grievous up just like we did on our main account about a year ago. So that's something that we are considering. Sith, we have the trio. We have Darth Revan, Basilishan, Malik, Vader, all that stuff. I want to 7-star Nihilus and 7-star Scion just to have that solid counter out of the way. They fall into that line with Imp Troopers where you have to decide if the value you get from diverting from better farms is worth it in the long run. I'm biased towards Trio for Undermans against Geos, which are a very, very common team. So I would put this priority over Imp Troopers. Personally, I can see how someone could be swayed either way. But they definitely fall in that same category of, is it worth delaying unlocking General Anakin Skywalker to make sure they're 7-star Gear 12? I'm not 100% sure it is. I haven't quite decided, like I mentioned before, if I will do it regardless of whether or not it's the most efficient. So that is the 11-month update on the Nikki Biggs free-to-play account. Sorry for anyone who was disappointed when we actually lost this account, but we were able to get it back, of course, after complaining to EA support for a week straight. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I love you. Consider commenting what you think on the account, or even leaving a like. It is a free way to help out the channel. I appreciate it as always. I'm going to go back to sleep because I am still sick, but I love you guys. I'll see you later.